everyone and welcome to this video. Now today I'm going to be reviewing a concert which I was at about a week ago now. Like I know it's been like a little bit like off like a while, but like I've just not had that much chance to film this review. So yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about when I saw Paul Weller at the Hydro in Glasgow on the 25th of February this year. So this is my second time seeing Paul Weller in like less than a year, which is much more often than like I would see like any like other like artist. Like I saw him last at like Liverpool University, like it was like Mountford Hall, which is a fantastic concert. Like I was like front row, like got to meet him like before it like as well. So like I've done like a separate video like on that. So like for this tour, like I didn't buy tickets like initially for it. But like it was like about like a month before the concert. Like I just decided like why not, like let's just get them. Like there's still tickets like available, like they are quite like affordably priced like as well, it's certainly compared to like other like artists like off like artists like off like the same like calibre, and like also like as well like because I found out that like a great band called the Strypes like was supporting Paul Weller. So like I just thought why not, like let's get a couple of tickets to go along to the show. So like I went like with like my mum, like who's like quite a big like Jam fan, like really likes Style Cancel, and like is probably the main reason why like I kind of discovered and I got into Paul Weller's music. So concert, like as I said, like was in Glasgow, like at like the Hydro, like a arena which I now know quite well. Like been to 4 concerts there now, like over the last 2 years. So yeah, like I've got like the tickets here. We were seated in block 233 row T, which if I'm being honest with you, it was like 3rd row from the back. Not great. Like I mean, like it looked closer like when I actually saw it like on like the diagram like off like the seating plan and the seating plan like, and like it wasn't too far away from like where like we saw like Morrissey like a week before this, but like it was just like so far back. Like I'm kind of falling out of love like with like these like big like arena concerts. Certainly like after going to like a few shows like the Charlatans and Paul Simon and like Weller like himself like in Liverpool, like where like you're right like at like the front, like nothing can really like compare to that. And then like being like however many rows back like in like a arena, like it's just not the same like experience. I bought a program as well, and here it is, the tour program here. They were charging £20 for these, although like I believe like at some of like the earlier dates they actually charged £15, which is a little bit strange. I would have thought like it would have been the same price like for like the whole tour, but hey ho. I got this here like instead of like a t-shirt, like they had a few t-shirts but not really many what took like my fancy. So yeah, it's just got some nice writing, nice pictures in it. Pictures like off like the band, a little write-up as to who's in the band and stuff somewhere in here. But yeah, there's a lot of like, it's mostly pictures though, but like nice quality though to it. Like yeah, like, there's like all like his current band members. So yeah, like I was like I said, like a little bit disappointed like with like our like seats, but like seats and like also like the fact that it is at the same price wherever like you sit like for Paul Weller, like no matter like if like you're standing like in like the front like or like the first tier of seats, like I believe like it was at the same price throughout. However, they did thankfully like have like a screen like of like what was happening, which was quite good, like on on the Morrissey show where I was at like a week before. Albeit the screen like it was pretty small, only like in black and white, and like also quite low down, but like at least like they had one there. So I'll now just put in a bit of footage from the Strypes set. They played I think about 8 songs, a couple from like the new record, which is called Spitting Image, which was one of my favourite records like from last year. Like they opened with like Behind Closed Doors, they done songs like Great Expectations, Need a Break from Holidays, and like some of like the older stuff as well, which I wasn't as familiar with. There was a few sound issues though with them like in like the big arena. Like thankfully that someone different was doing like the sound for Paul Weller, so like he sounded like a lot better. But like they played really well, like lots of energy. So here's a snippet like off like a couple of their songs. that a bit like off the Strypes set. Now, I did take quite a bit of footage like off like Paul Weller, like because like like this one, like there was no one like sort of saying like he couldn't film, so like it was like quite like easy to get like quite a bit of off like footage. Like also like no one like was really standing up like for it, so like it was quite like easy like to see him like all like the time. But like yeah, like from this like you can tell like we are quite far back, like quite difficult to actually see him like on the stage, but like it's still done like a fantastic set, which I'll go over like after a little bit of concert footage.
I found it just like a coincidence. And now I'm up again. Just like a soldier from my past, who won't be told it's over yet. the fire just to catch a flame, to feel real again. It's a time cross. Oh, hooray! What a nice night. It's alright, folks. It's alright, folks. Oh, hooray! Our bond stands bright. It's alright, folks. It's alright, folks. What you're blowing in the love views. Talk down the hearts and commas in their brand new shoes. The first of revolutionaries in my knee. You went to bed with a charm in your bed. Ah, hooray! Nice to night. It's alright, folks. It's alright, folks. Ah, hooray! That's right. It's alright, folks. It's alright, folks. Fast as my could fly. Down country lanes where I took my time. Down the house and in my ear. I got my singing so that I can feel like it's like a film playing in my head. I keep on rolling down with sunny hills in spring. And nothing feels the same way. Changing again. I promise you no name. It's hard to find me again. Where I found purity. Look for that homecoming, sweet daddy-o. Look for that star shining, sweet kitty-o. I'm coming home. The top of the roof, thanks back to wolves and the cry of the top cat. That's going out and kicking the balls. I say that's entertainment. That's entertainment. The soothing teardrop that falls, and I can't hold on. With my fingers she's gone. Oh, my fingers she's gone. At the foot of the mountain, such a long way to climb. Oh, and I'll not get up there, but I know I must try. It's lost. What else really matters? Oh, such a cause that the rivers reach to storm shore to hit the peaks. Yeah, lost it all, like broken stones. Just off a steam train that goes down my track. From nowhere, just going round and round. I gotta get some creep and swing, 'cause out there in the breeze. Well, burn out till rolling well. See the best of joy I get. It's time for nothing.
Okay, so that was some footage from the show. I'll now just go over the set list, which it was a slightly different set list like from like the last time like I saw him. Like this is like one thing like I really like about Paul Weller. Like he always changes like his like set list like about like minor changes though. Like a few songs like he might like sort of like sub in like for others like different nights, and like on like say like on like say like Paul McCartney like who has like the same set list stale like for like about 3 years like well as like always changing it up. So like even though like I saw him like less than like a year ago, like there was still like enough like different songs like in like the set list to make it worthwhile going again. So he opened up with "And Where I Should Be," which was a song from his last album Saturn's Pattern. Followed that up with "White Sky." Then he done "Nova" from the new record, which is what he didn't do last time I seen him. That sounds great live. Like I love that one. Done "From the Floorboards Up," one of his sort of solo hits, and followed that with "Long Time," which is from Saturn's Pattern, but it's a very sort of similar song like to like "From the Floorboards Up," very similar kind of like rocking track. Then he moved to the piano for Saturn's Pattern and "Long Long Road." Both those songs went down quite well, I thought. Then he done a couple of Style Council numbers, "Have You Ever Had It Blue" and "My Ever Changing Moods." Can't get enough like the Style Council songs. I think like he probably like could do more off them, to be honest with you, but those two like were really fantastic. Then done with "She Moves With the Fair" from the new record. Not one of my absolute favourites like from the new album, but it does come alive a lot more like in like a live setting. Like I certainly prefer like the live performances like as opposed to the studio version. Then done classic jam song "Man in the Corner Shop." Like this one like was really the first song like in like the set when everyone like was singing along to it, like the la 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 sort of chorus bit to it, like really went down quite well. Then he done "Above the Clouds," classic solo song, and "Into Tomorrow," which he's kind of changed like the arrangement of this one like from like the last time like I seen him. Like last time like it was quite a slow, like slightly sort of grungy kind of like song, whereas this one here like is a lot more true to the original version. Like they sped it up like certainly like in terms like of tempo. So I think like this version like of "Into Tomorrow" really fantastic stuff. Then he moved over to the acoustic guitar and done "Up in Susie's Room" from the Heavy Soul record. This one was probably the weakest song like off like the night for me. I'm not a massive fan like of like the Heavy Soul album. I think it is like one of Weller's weaker ones. And like this one, like I heard it like in like Liverpool was hoping that he might do something like a little bit different, but this one like still like in like the set list. Then done "Hung Up," another classic solo song, and then "Shout to the Top," Style Council song, really fantastic. Probably my favourite song like from like the whole concert. Like I thought, yeah, fantastic performance. Like love it. Then he moved over to the piano for "You Do Something to Me," classic solo hit, and then "Wussy Mama," which has become like a real live favourite. Like it's like the opening song like on like the new record. Like that one like really gets like the crowd like singing along. Like, it's like a very easy song like to sing along to. So like yeah, like it really works well. Like they jam out like at the end. It just works really well. And then the final few songs off the main set were "Friday Street," again from Heavy Soul. That one could maybe be dropped. Like I'm like a little bit sick of hearing that one. Like from like Paul Weller, like he probably could do something like "Out of the Sinking" or like something from like I don't know like his debut like solo record "Bull Rush" or something like instead. But yeah, "Friday Street" stays in the set. And then a bit of a surprising one, "Eton Rifles," classic jam single, which he didn't do last time I saw him in Liverpool. Again, like another highlight like off the show. Like he still performs these jam songs really well. Like his like bands like do like a fantastic job like on them. So yeah, like "Eton Rifles" was great. And then he finished the main set with another sort of surprising choice, like one which I wasn't expecting, "Whirlpool's End" from the Stanley Road record, which this one was I don't want to say a bit like anticlimactic. I mean like I like loved it like every minute like off like this song, like but like a lot of like the crowd like you were there probably just sort of casual like Weller fans that maybe liked the jam like growing up and that didn't really know this song too well. Like I thought that it was brilliant. And then he goes off stage, comes back on for a encore, but like this time sort of sitting down. Like he'd done this one like in like Liverpool like last time like I like seen him like there, like they kind of bring on like some stools to sit down to do like about 6 like acoustic songs, which I think works really well. Like even like in like a like big arena. Opens up his little like acoustic set with the Ballad of Jimmy McCabe from the Jawbone soundtrack. Fantastic song, really glad like he done that one. because I know that like sometimes like he does like a few songs like from like his upcoming album, which is due out in I think the autumn time, which like I don't know like those songs, so like I'm glad that like he chose to do the ballad of Jimmy McHale, a song which I do know and love, which he released last year. Then done a couple of jam classics, English Rose and That's Entertainment, both were really fun songs. Well, That's Entertainment like got like the crowd singing along, and that worked really well. Then done Foot of the Mountain from the Wildwood records, this time staying quite true to the original version, like quite stripped back, like acoustic song. Then done Hopper from the new record, and finished the acoustic set with Wildwood, which is always fantastic to hear. So he then goes back off the stage, comes back on again for a second encore, which starts off with The Weaver from Wildwood, like one of like his earliest singles, like again, like great to hear like that one live. He doesn't do that one too often. Then Broken Stones, another classic, like got like the crowd singing like and like clapping along, and then finished off the night with two jam classics, Start and Town Called Malice, which he didn't do that one like in like Liverpool. Very glad like he done it like here, like this was a great way like to end like a concert. So that's it, like he done 31 songs like in total, like he was on stage for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, like I'd say. So yeah, like absolutely like jam-packed like set, like full of like so many brilliant songs. So yeah, Weller played like absolutely fantastically, like vocally like he's in like top form. Like also like the band like as well, like it's probably like my favourite sort of like Weller solo band. Like, so yeah, Weller played like absolutely fantastically, like vocally like he's in like top form. Like also like the band like as well, like it's probably like my favourite sort of like Weller solo band, like just because like they do like his old songs like absolute justice, and like also like they do like stay true to like the original arrangements, which I think works like very well. The set list like I actually thought was perfect, like really showcasing like his whole career, like not really like neglecting like his like jam stuff, like which he'd done like for like the longest time, like in it, and for like the longest time, like in like the early part like of like his solo career here, like he was like doing stuff like Eating Rifles, Town Called Malice, That's Entertainment, like real sort of crowd pleasing songs, but also like never verging like into pure like oldie act territory, like always like doing new songs like as well, which I think like worked really well. Like he really like blended like the two seamlessly. I would say the crowds could have been like a little bit better. Like there was a lot of getting up, like going for drinks / toilet breaks, like during like the more like obscure like solo songs, like and like the new stuff like as well. And like no one really got up, so like stood up like for like the show, like until Town Called Malice, which like yeah, like would have thought people like would have been dancing away to like shout to the top or something, but like no, like they all stayed like glued to like their seats, which yeah, that was a bit like disappointing. Like I would have like certainly preferred to be like have been like a little bit closer, but yeah, like if like you can like go and see Paul Weller, definitely do, because he is a amazing live performer, and like he's always like changing like his set list like up, like no like two like Paul Weller shows that will ever be the same. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this little review like of the show, and I will see you all next time for the next video. Goodbye.